Hey, it's Ethan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hollywood Rack Sport Rider SE Hitch Bike Rack and how it fits on our 2018 Ford Escape. The SE is a 2-bike platform style bike rack capable of supporting up to 80 pounds per bike, which is a lot. That's some of the most weight capacity I've seen out of a hitch bike rack that we've tested. So it's going to be really good for your e-bike purposes. Pretty much any bike you want to get on here will fit. It's going to hold on to our bike primarily with this frame clamp right here, or frame hook rather. So that being said, if you do want to transport carbon frame bikes, we'd recommend against it because it does make that frame contact. It could potentially damage it while you're driving. They're padded, so they'll protect your paint and most other frames, but carbon frames might just be a little too fragile. And there's one strap on the back wheel as well as a strap on the front wheel for extra security. So one of the nicest features that we'll show you right away is the fact that this rack does have the ability to tilt away with the bikes loaded, but unfortunately it doesn't actually have enough clearance for us to get to the back, but we'll show you how it works anyway. First thing you would need to do is pull this pin and clip on the side, and then you could pull this lever right here and tilt it down towards us. As you can see, it's not a super aggressive tilt, so we don't have enough room to even come close really to our handlebars being able to clear. So if you have handlebars that are that of a normal mountain bike, you're probably not going to be able to clear either. So we're going to have to get our bike removed if we want to get hatch access. I'll just replace this pin and this clip, and we can do that next. So first thing, I'll come back to this back strap here. Just press that black button on the side, pull the strap all the way through. I like to try to store them out of the way if possible. So we get the back one and then the front. You can see here there's this rubber pad on the strap as well to protect your tire. We get those out of the way, and then we can get our frame hook off as well. We'll hold on to the rack or the bike, push those up, press this button. That's also a lock core in the event that you want to lock your bikes up. The hooks don't come all the way off the center mast, which is unfortunate, especially if you do end up with an 80-pound bike, because you kind of have to try to manipulate it around that hook. So we'll just go slow. I'll just go over it in my case, but again, if you have an 80-pound bike, I could see that being a lot more difficult. So that is unfortunate. I'll just set this off to the side, and then we'll get that center mast out of the way and talk a little bit more about the tray and the cradles. So first thing we'll do is get that center mast folded down. You have to line up the notch on this pin with the top there. You might be able to see that notch right there. You have to line that up to pull it out and also to replace it once we fold this down. So we'll do that. We'll line it back up again, and now our center mast is out of the way. With these long straps and the way that these hoops are designed, we actually are able to support 5-inch tires right out the gate, and we have the ability to slide these up and down the trays by loosening these hand knobs on the tray to accommodate a wheelbase of up to 60 inches. As you can see from here, it's still pretty compact. It doesn't add a ton of space to the back of our vehicle, but I'll get a measurement and we'll see exactly how much that'll be. So from the bumper to the furthest point back, we're going to be adding on just over 27 inches. So for something that gets that weight capacity, honestly not too bad. As far as ground clearance goes, from this furthest point back here, it'll be about 18.5 inches off the ground. We have a pretty good rise, and the Escape sits tall enough that I'm not going to be worried about that as far as going up hills or over curbs. If we want to, we can save a little bit of that space though by folding the rack up towards our vehicle, so we'll do that next. You don't need to pull the pin and the clip for this one, which is nice. You just need to pull the two on the side. You'll hear it click into place, and we'll get that new measurement. So now, from the bumper to the furthest point back, it's going to be closer to 13 inches. So we do save a good amount of space that way. From here, we can take a look and see what we cover on the back of our vehicle. So like I mentioned, it's pretty low profile for the weight capacity it's able to get, and our license plate is going to be very fully visible here in the middle. Our backup camera is right here in the middle as well. Tons of room to see over the top of that. You'll probably see the rack out of the very bottom. Doesn't come anywhere near our taillights or our rear window though. Coming down to the shank now. This version of this rack does use a 2-inch shank that fits into our 2-inch receiver. It's held in place by this pin with a lock that's going to be key-to-like to those frame locks we talked about earlier. It's got this welded collar on here, which is nice just to line up those pinholes. It's all secured by this anti-rattle handle here in the back. So make sure you leave this where it's not pointed down, otherwise you're going to cut down on your ground clearance. So overall, this rack is going to be super useful for you if you need to maximize your bike weight rating. 80 pounds per bike is a lot. 60-inch wheelbase is also a lot, and that 5-inch tire width right out of the gate makes this rack a great option for you. Not the easiest to use though. It does have a lot of pinch points, and it's unfortunate that that tilt doesn't go far enough away from our car to get the hatch open. So maybe if you need a little bit of help loading and unloading some heavier e-bikes, you can check out something like the Hollywood Racks Destination E. It comes with a ramp that you can attach on there as well, and it tilts super aggressively, so we do have that hatch access. You're going to lose about 10 pounds of weight capacity per bike though. Just up to you whether you want to have that hatch access with the bikes loaded up or not. If you're not worried about that and you do want all those features we talked about, the Hollywood Racks Sport Rider SE is still a really solid choice. This again was just a quick look at how it fits on a 2018 Ford Escape.